What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie all day. Okay, so this week is the beginning of Gladius week. Um, we're gonna start with this one right here. So there's a company called swordis, and I've been talking about them lately because I received a package of 3 Gladius weapons, and all 3 are different. All 3 are the same, and all 3 are very, very badass. So swordis.com is the website, and this is the Apoc Wasteland Gladius with skull cracking pommel. Now, traditionalists are gonna say, "Oh, this isn't a Gladius, blah blah blah," because it's all black and it doesn't have. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's traditional or not. This one is the zombie apocalypse one, and I know during Nero and Caesar's time, they didn't have a zombie apocalypse, so they didn't need one like this. But if the zombies did come out, maybe they would have made one. So I gotta say, I'm digging it. Now, unlike a traditional Gladius, the weight is there. You will feel this in your hand. It's not unwieldable heavy, and you'll see when we get it outside, because we're going to take this thing outside and test it. It goes around the hand pretty darn well. But let's look at some of the specs on this guy. This is kind of cool, man. This is kind of cool. We have a 33-inch overall length with a 21-inch blade, a 9-inch handle. You don't see on a Gladius. That is a two-hand grip right there. It is 2.5 pounds. 2.5 pounds. It is 9260 spring steel. Sweet. It is sharpened on both sides. It is battle ready. It is true full tang, not just full tang, true full tang. It has a fiberglass moly compatible scabbard with that wrinkle black finish on it. Very cool. I do like that. It is G10 in the grip, so it is an all-weather, all conditions type handle. You can hit, man, you can feel the spring in that. It says it's a one-handed handle, and I'll explain why it's not a two-handed handle. The blade type is straight, even though it has curves. It's straight. And the color is black. Good thing they wrote that down. So the reason this is a one-handed sword is because of this beautiful cut-in right here. You see that? That's where your grip is. Your grip doesn't go up here. Your grip doesn't go down here. Can you swing it from there? Yes and yes. No problem. But here is where you are getting your full grip wrapped around, and what this does is you have flares on this end and this end to lock the hand in that position, so you can get around the sword without hitting the guard, without hitting the pommel. You have plenty of space. Now, normally your centurions, your legionnaires, they're going to have this big rectangular mainly sword, and they're going to be behind it, and they're going to cut around, and they're going to be chopping at other swords. So that's why you used spring steel back then, because it would vibrate, and worst case scenario in battle, the sword might bend. If it does, you straighten it back out and you keep going. They didn't want overly heated, brittle swords because they would break. So this is a really good example. Not saying this is going to bend, but it's a good example that they used spring steel, as it should be. It really is cool. But rather than sitting here and let's just take it outside and use it. All right, so our sunshine is kind of in and out of the clouds today, but you can get a pretty good look at this thing, man. It is a serious piece of head hacking steel right here. This thing is crazy, but I want to show you what I was talking about with this grip, and how it holds and how it feels. The weight, 2.5 pounds, easy. The flare, easy. It's gonna get around no matter what. It's just going to swing. The sword can be literally held in any way. You can use it like a katana. You know what I mean? You can cut straight down, and it's going to get that feel, and it's going to be fast in the hand. even one hand, there's no control issues. I am not snapping back. I am not rolling. This thing is freaking awesome in the hand. Now, it's a pointy weapon, so it's going to be stabbing, getting under, getting in, getting through, but it's also going to be able to hack, especially when you see these curved areas on a Gladius. That curved area is going to help lop something off. It is just awesome. So now I see people testing swords like these, and they go at different things different ways, but I'm seeing a lot of pool noodles. I think pool noodles are great for like testing katanas because it's supposed to be this beautiful, sweet, sweeping, clean cut, but that's not what this is. This is a man's sword, right? This thing is a Gladius, and we have 2 more offerings of Gladius swords coming from these guys that are completely different, and they're gonna want the same kind of treatment. They're gonna want to be used like an actual sword. Now, I wanted to hit some wood today because shields that it would be hitting against are going to be wood. So it needs to be able to attack things that are made for what it's going to be hitting against. So even just, I'm going to hold, because this one's way above my head, so I'm just going to hold you guys in my hand and see if we can cut it. It'll most likely, because it's brittle, it'll most likely break. But this is where we test to see if there's going to be any dents in the edge, because this is still a pretty hard piece of wood, right? It's all dried out. Oh, that did pretty good right there. That did pretty good right there. Let's try it at a thicker point. Oh, it is snap, crackle, popping that stuff away. All right, one more. One more right here. All right, so now we're not worried about edge retention because it's a sword. You're not, this isn't your paper cutting, this isn't your paper cutting piece. Here you go, you get it in the sun now. You get it in the sun now. Oh, look at that. These little guys right here, this isn't for bow hole drilling, so don't think this is for fire making. That's just it's more decorative. You're not going to put your thumb there. It just looks nice. But most definitely the edge, instead of worrying about edge like sharpness, like overall sharpness, I'm trying to get you guys adjusted here. It comes down to, is it going to fold? Is it going to bend over? And hitting hardwood the way I just hit it, you can't even actually see where or what point of the blade that I actually hit the wood on. So it's not a really soft edge. It's not rolling over. It's not folding, anything like that. It's holding pretty good. So I want to go hit some 1-inch forest trees. Hold on. So if you're buying a sword like this, it's for a couple reasons. One, you're a kind of person that just likes to have fun. Two, you're the kind of person that likes to have fun. So, and you have good taste. So it's not something, this one here isn't your crazy decorative wall hanger. This is your banger. Even though the other offerings that I'm going to show you are just amazing looking Gladius swords that can be wall hangers, they are straight up users. And I freaking love that. Let's see if we can get a nice clean cut. Oh, I went too far to the side. There we go. I'll tell you, this thing's a hitter. I want to get a nice big fat piece. So we can show you the absolute cutting. So are you wondering about the edge? Is it a sharp edge? Are you going to have a problem with sharpness? No, these are sharp. All the way around, it is freaking sharp. This is a really, really nice piece. This is a really, I mean, that's a pretty good chunk right there. It's a really nice, clean cut. Like me, it just looks good, it feels good, it swings good, it hits good, it's tight, it's right, it's out of sight.
So there's something we got to do though. Hold on. All right, since this is a stabbing weapon, we want to use the point, right? Well, what's the point of using the point without using the point? Oh yeah. Spring steel, gotta love it. Oh my gosh, that was in there. You can see how deep it went. Let's try that again. Let's get a nice throw here. Oh yeah. Now you can see where I'm standing, and you can see where the target is. That right there is about 12 feet, somewhere in there. That's nice. That's nice. That thing threw like a spear. Ugh. So that is pretty sweet. Let's get you a little closer for this. What we want to do, I'm a lefty, so we're gonna go this side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do drive-in stabs, and I wanted to see if my hand, oh man, it goes in there, if my hand was gonna slide down that G10, and it does not. This swelling absolutely does its job. I mean, absolutely, there's no bending in the tip or anything like that. Low stab. Ugh. We're gonna do like an uppercut. It gets in there, man. Oh, it is awesome. One of the good things about this big heavy piece is and having a absolute true spear point. It's even on both sides. The tip is going to go exactly where you want it to every single time. And I absolutely love that. It makes it really easy. Let's try an overhand. Oh my gosh. I'm just watching. There we go. Let's do that again. Over the top stab when you're going over a spear. Man. And now we're going to do a couple of side shots. Some reverse hand, back cuts. I totally missed the sidearm. Let's try that again. There we go. Man, this thing, no loosening in the grip. You don't hear any rattling. Zero bending. Trying to see if there's any effect on this edge, and there is none. This thing is heat treated. Let's see. I know it's not made for it. I know, well, pretty much nothing I'm doing with this thing is going to be made for it. I'm going to set you guys up. I'm going to go get a little piece of log. We're going to try split wood. Hold on. All right, I should have found a piece with less knots. This thing has knots literally all the way around it. But we want to test the strength. We're going to test with knots. One thing I want to do while I have you at this position is I want to try and throw it down so it wobbles. Spring steel. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. All right, let's see if we can't get a shot on this thing. I'm gonna actually two-hand it. Oh my God, it split all the way down to the knots. This is not what you do with a sword. Oh. That, look at the knot size in there. That's crazy. That is crazy. I don't know if I'll be able to stand it up. I don't think I can stand it up. No, I can stand it up. I can't stand it up. I can stand it up. So, I went camping this week. What'd you take for a camp knife? Ta-da! I mean, come on. Look at those streaks. You know what that streak's from? Going through a knotted piece of wood. Look at this thing. There is zero evidence of hitting through anything, let alone some big old knots. This thing is dead nut straight. You gotta be kidding me, man. This thing is super duper dope. Everybody remembers the movie Braveheart when they take his sword at the end and they throw it, and it didn't do that. They throw his sword and it lands in the dirt and just does wah 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 wah. That's what it reminds me of. Just an absolute beast. This thing, oh my gosh. This thing is a beast. Man, you could put a piece of felt on there and make an umbrella. This is awesome. This is an awesome piece. So, if you're looking for a zombie killer type of Gladius, you want a Gladius, but you're like, I don't know, I like the modern stuff. I'm not too big into the oldie fashioned looks and this and that. I'll tell you what, they made it easy for you. They literally took care of everything. They provided you with this guy right here. So I'm going to put the link down below for the page to this particular sword. And I'm also just going to put their regular website link so you can check out more stuff. I'm telling you guys, this is real deal type stuff. If you want wall hangers, go to the same place. They sell those too. If you want longer swords, go to the same place. They sell those too. If you want Japanese swords, Celtic swords, Viking swords, doesn't matter. Go to the same place. They sell those too. You want some sabers? You want something for your Captain Jack Sparrow costume? Go there. They got something for that too. Just freaking awesome. Hold on a second. That's the Veteran Cemetery. We got fallen brother. So gotta say goodbye somehow. All right, so that's it. From swordis.com, you get this Apoc. This thing is super dope. That's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next video.